We should be going on live. There we go. Hey, Facebook Live. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Blessings to you, everyone, tonight. We had a little glitch getting going. I was just telling our guest when electronics work, they're great, but when they don't, they can be incredibly frustrated. I'm Bishop Bonnie Radden. Many of you know me in various forms and spaces, but tonight we're going to have a conversation about something that's near and dear to my heart, um, with someone I've met recently, and I'm excited to introduce you in just a moment. I trust that you all are doing well. Can you please hit like and share if you're on Facebook, if you're on the YouTube channel or our Instagram page, my YouTube channel? Please, this is really an amazing conversation that we're about to have tonight on something that has been around for over 40 years, entitled Companionship, created by a young man who's not so young anymore, named Craig, and I always mess his name, Regenbaum, but I had the pleasure of meeting him recently, and he created this wonderful, wonderful, amazing work around companionship, and folks have been trained in it, and then they train others. And tonight we're going to have a conversation with someone who is a trainer in companionship and has a workshop coming up soon in October. And so tonight we're going to talk about that, let you know what companionship is all about, let you know who this wonderful human being that I have met and excited to meet. And hopefully they will tell you a little bit about themselves, a little bit about the work that they do there at the Unitarian Universalist Mental Health Network. And so if you would please tonight welcome the wonderful Skyler Malan. Skyler, nice to
Hello.
have you tonight. Nice to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so nice to have you. We're glad you're here tonight, and I'm glad that everyone is joining us. Please, again, like, share if you're on Instagram, if you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, because we want to get this word out. We'll replay this several times so that folks can know about this wonderful opportunity coming up in October. So again, can you please welcome Skyler Malan? Yay, let's give her a hand. I know I can hear all those applause out there. Yes, yes, yes. So Skyler, could you please for us tonight introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background in mental health or ministry or community care, and maybe how you really got connected with companionship?
Absolutely. So I'm Skyler Malan. My pronouns are they and them. And I'm talking to you from Marysville, Washington, which is a small town between Seattle and the Canadian border.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a Pathways to Promise companion and certified community trainer in companionship. I'm also the board secretary for the Unitarian Universalist Mental Health Network, UUMHN, a certified peer counselor, and a longtime program leader for NAMI Snow-Isle, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness for Snohomish and Island counties here in Washington.
Wow. That's really amazing. That's I could never say those names. Snohomish.
Snohomish.
That must be way up north, right? In Washington. Well, Craig, who developed Companionship, resides in Seattle area and started the work there, on the streets with the housing insecure and as a chaplain, and that's how Companionship came about. I'm sure you already know that. So, wow, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. What first drew you, Skyler, if you will, to the companionship model?
Well, I heard about companionship from the president of UU Mental Health Network, Reverend Barbara Myers, who is the author of the 2020 book, Held, showing up for each other's mental health.
Wow.
And the UU Mental Health Network is a nonprofit 501c3 Unitarian Universalist organization. It was established in 2018 to collaborate on addressing mental health challenges that affected our congregation and society as a whole. And we provide mental health education, services that focus on the role of faith in mental well-being and support groups, and we promote social justice. So, since the companionship model equips faith communities to support individuals facing emotional and mental health challenges, which aligns with our mission, we decided to use it to help our community. So UU Mental Health Network paid for me to take the Become a Companion workshop and to get certified to teach it so that we could offer the training through our organization.
Awesome. 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 I just want to stop and say before we go on, in case y'all haven't figured out, there's a lot of distress in our world today. And one of the things that's so amazing about this model is I've studied it and read it and learned it and am a coordinator, is that the time is now. And I think that the time for us, and I'll share a little while later after we share some other things, why I believe the timing is so important in our world today. Thank you again for joining us, everyone, tonight. Please hit like and share. And wherever you are, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, please do that. Welcoming, we see you there, Dr. Ed. I see you, Lynn. Glad to have all of you on board with us tonight. Skyler, let's go back to the questions. Let me ask you this question. For those who've never heard of it, what is companionship? What is companionship?
Well, the Pathways to Promise companionship model is a practice of presence. It's a relational response to isolation and distress, supporting healing and recovery through community. Companionship is a ministry of presence, a relationship responding to isolation and suffering and supporting healing and recovery. It welcomes the stranger, building a circle of care with individuals facing emotional and mental health challenges. It's rooted in our natural capacities as human beings to be sensitive, compassionate, and concerned. So the 5 principles of companionship are equal relationship, presence, not fixing, practiced openly, mutually beneficial, and supported by a circle of care. It's a dynamic and inspirational model that empowers everyday individuals to support those experiencing emotional or mental distress. And the approach emphasizes intentionality, presence, relational care, and making a meaningful difference in the lives of others. It fosters collaboration and equips participants to form supportive relationships wherever they are.
Beautiful. I think one of the things that I want to make clear to everyone is that you don't have to be a mental health professional to embrace this movement, to be involved in this movement. I told Craig and Jim, who just written a new book around companionship, that I believe this is no longer, it is not a program, it's a healing movement that we need in our country today and around the world. And so I want to be clear to everyone tonight as we continue in this conversation that you don't have to be a mental health professional. What we really would expect, that you have a heart for the humankind, for justice work, and that you want to help someone in their time of distress. Because the part that we want to do, and Skyler, maybe you can elaborate on this, is that we want to keep folks who are in distress from moving to despair. Because when they get to despair, oftentimes they lose hope. And that's what we don't want them to do. And let me ask you this, Skyler, off the record from our notes. Is it your experience in companionship that just folks who, maybe uh, they're school teachers, maybe they're servers in a restaurant, just folks who have jobs, other jobs besides mental health, are embracing companionship? Is that your experience?
Well, that's the whole idea. Like you said, it's not a program to train mental health providers or religious leaders or any specific type of professional. It's just for people like you and me who have a heart for other people. And that is the whole design of the program.
Right. And one of the things that I want to just say before we move on again is that as an individual, and I shared this with, again, Craig and Jim on September 11th when I met with them, that I've been a trainer of mental health first aid, assist, which is a suicide intervention, safe talk. All of those programs are very informational, but the key about companionship is that it's not just informational, it's inspirational. Inspirational, big difference. Big difference. Um, Go ahead. You want to make a comment?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. It does also teach skills, but basically it's building on your passion that you bring to the class.
Right. And that's one of the questions that we talk about. How's the workshop different from traditional mental health trainings or pastoral care trainings? And I know that I believe that the companionship is very inspirational. What would you say?
Well, it is inspirational, and it also provides the knowledge and skills that will help you be effective, even if you already have the heart for a willingness to be helpful.
So you mentioned the 5 principles, but what are the 5 core practices of companionship, and why are they so powerful, if you will, Skyler, in healing, isolation, and distress?
Well, we start with hospitality, which is to create a safe space, a trusted space, by welcoming, respecting, sharing, and believing in the worth and dignity of the other person. And secondly, we focus on neighboring, meeting and treating people on the common ground of our shared humanity.
Mm.
And the third practice is called side by side. We are mutually joining together from a side by side position. So this is like a peer relationship. It's not an expert and a student type relationship. It's a side by side relationship. And the fourth practice is listening. And hearing a soul story with heart, ear, eye, attention, and importantly, respect.
Yes.
And then lastly, accompaniment, helping the person develop capacities and strengths, locate local resources, and help build a circle of care. So these practices help participants promote the healing and recovery through community support.
Yes. Beautiful. And I think that all of those things, I resonate so much with the side by side, even sitting next to someone compared to sitting across from them makes a big difference. But side by side, journeying, if you will, through and with the individual. I mentioned this just a moment ago, but in the world that you live in, Skyler, and where you are there in Washington, why is this training around companionship really important in today's world?
Well, as I'm sure everyone's aware today, many people are in distress, struggling with loneliness and mental health challenges. In fact, 1 in 5 adults experience a mental health condition in any given year, and 1 in 5 youth aged 13 to 15 have experienced a mental health condition at some point in their life. Actually, suicide is now the second leading cause of death in the United States among people aged 15 to 24. And ethnic and cultural groups like LGBTQIA+, African Americans, and veterans can experience additional challenges that exasperate their distress. And while recovery is possible, many people don't get the help or treatment that they need for reasons that can include a lack of insurance or the cost of the assessment or treatment, limited access to mental health providers. There's a mental health provider shortage, and even shame, fear, and stigma that's associated with mental health conditions. So people often seek help for mental health difficulties from their spiritual leaders. But these leaders frequently don't have the time and or specific training needed to minister to them effectively.
Yes.
And pastoral care teams may not feel equipped to help either.
Correct. One of the things I want to give a big shout out is that we're having a conversation. I've been having a conversation with some of our theological seminaries, and I'm very excited about just wrote curriculum to share with them around companionship and how leaders and pastors and leaders of nonprofits, leaders in ministries can embrace this model, which is so incredibly powerful and so much needed around in our world. You mentioned suicide a moment ago, and I just want to give a shout out that this is National Suicide Prevention Month, and I want to let everyone know that if you are in some kind of distress, of any kind of distress, please reach out to someone. If you don't know how to reach out to anyone, you can, I'll put our phone number up here in a moment. You can reach out. You can direct message us. We're more than happy to reach with you. With that being said, on the 29th of this month at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'll be having Dr. Felicia Houston on live talking about suicide. She's been doing this work around suicide and for a number of years. And so we'll be having a conversation around that, particularly the hard work that's particularly in our LGBTQIA plus community and the challenges that we find there. So, Skyler, speaking of the workshop of Companion in this October 11th workshop that you all are going to be hosting, number one, it's virtual, correct?
That's right.
So it's going to be virtual, but who is the workshop for?
Well, like we said before, it isn't for professionals. It's for anyone seeking to make a positive impact and anyone who believes in the healing power of connection and is eager to join a movement, as you described it, of care and support. Companionship training is suitable for faith-based organizations, community centers, healthcare organizations, chaplaincy groups, or other communities and individuals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just had a conversation with the chaplain this afternoon. I want to be clear with everyone. This training is incredibly powerful. It's a 3-hour training, and I just read a letter from a pastor who just was so thrilled that he had companionship to utilize in his ministry. Because oftentimes pastors, leaders in ministry don't know exactly what to do for individuals in their distressing time. And can I be real? Prayer is just not going to work sometimes. I'm not saying don't pray, but what I'm saying is we need someone to walk with us. And I know that in my life, in the distressing times, the times of illness, the times of uh, distress in very many areas of my life, having someone there as in a companionship model is what has kept me where I am today. So I want to again say that you would be so blessed to be a part of this. But let me ask you this, Skyler. What can an individual or someone expect to learn or walk away with when they attend this training in the workshop that you'll be leading?
Well, good question. Our learning objectives for this course is that when you've completed it, you'll be able to integrate the companionship into your spiritual, personal, or professional life and use it as a healing relational connection tool to support people experiencing mental health challenges and provide an organization with safe, inclusive mental health help and support for healing and wellness by being a champion for that organization. Excuse me, a companion for that organization.
Yes. And I want to say this and a shout out. Hey, Pastor Jabari, nice to have you with us on tonight. I've heard a conversation with someone yesterday. Even our nurses, our healthcare individuals are under great stress right now. And I've heard about a nurse who just broke down, a male nurse who just broke down in tears, just being overworked and so distressed with the amount of sickness in our world. And one of the things that we know for sure is that when I just had this conversation with two physicians and going to bring them on in a show after the suicide, is that when folks' mental wellness is better, their physical wellness is better. Statistically, that's been proven. And again, I want to say, as Skyler told us earlier, folks will reach out to their faith person before they will reach out to a therapist. Statistically, we know that to be true. So much so. So let me go back to this training, and we've done some recent changing even, but is this training interfaith or culturally inclusive? Number one, and how do you create a safe space for all backgrounds?
Well, the training is not based on any particular religious belief or dogma.
Right.
It's rooted in our universal natural capacities to be sensitive, compassionate, and concerned for another in distress. It was created with inclusivity in mind, but it could be further adapted to meet the specific needs of any particular cultural group.
Yes, and I want to give a shout out to Advocate Health and Anya Gordon, who recently helped us make some of the curriculum a little more culturally sensitive and added some additional pieces to it. And you'll see that upcoming um, actually in the new workbook. So we're very excited about that as well. So let me say this: you're an instructor. What, Skylar, is your approach to leading your sessions when you lead these workshops?
Well, the Become a Companion workshop is a concise 3-hour interactive training that equips participants with the essential knowledge, skills, and confidence necessary to establish effective relationships with people in need.
Right. Yes. And, one of the things that's beautiful, as I've sat in a couple of trainings, is that folks get to know each other from other parts of the United States, other parts of the world. It's really beautiful, really, really beautiful. What do you enjoy most about teaching companionship workshops?
Well, full disclosure, I haven't actually done it yet. Our first class is going to be next month on October 11th, Saturday. So this will be my first teaching of a Becoming a Companion workshop, but I have taught many similar workshops. And I do this because I find it very fulfilling to teach people how to be effective to help their friends, loved ones, and communities who are struggling with mental health challenges.
Well, I'm going to applaud you. I'm sure you'll do an amazing job just from the conversations that I've had with you. I'm excited to hear how it turns out. What would you say to someone who's unsure or nervous about attending? One of the things I hear folks say, well, I know how to be a companion, but what's the difference in coming into this workshop, would you say?
Well, this has a lot of background. Since its development in 1987, like you said, by Reverend Craig Redenbaum and others, the program has been presented to numerous people in different communities and continually improved based on that feedback. So it's had a long time tested curriculum that is actually built on what works and best practices. So I think it's a good investment of your time, just 3 hours, a very small cost to get this bounty of information that will help you be more effective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Skyler, why should faith communities and organizations prioritize sending leaders in their that they're connected with to this training?
Well, most faith communities want to provide ministry and pastoral cares to their community, and they would all benefit from having this small investment in the training that will make them be more effective and to reach their goals of making a difference, having an impact in their community.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Um, what would you say maybe if someone feels overwhelmed or maybe they just don't feel equipped to support others? How can companionship help them feel more confident?
Right. Feeling more confident is one of our learning objectives here for the course. And just keep in mind this purpose is not to turn you into a mental health professional or a spiritual professional. You don't have to be a mental health expert or have, any great wisdom. It's simply providing you with the tools that you can use to build a healthy, supporting relationship with others.
Yes. I like to attribute it to two things. Um, Number one, in car races, they have pit crews, right? And those pit crews help that race car driver, right? So they have certain things that they do, but they still have to be trained. They may love cars, may love races, or if you don't want to, I say everybody should have a pit crew. But additionally, I think the parable of the paralytic who couldn't take himself to Jesus but had to be lowered into the roof by folks who carried him. And sometimes in our distress, it's difficult. We need someone to come alongside with them, maybe not necessarily to literally carry us, but definitely to hear us and to be with us. And as we talked about the principles, listening, absolutely. So we're just about finished here. Skylar, how can people register for this upcoming workshop? And I think that I've got a banner I can pull up to show them. Number one, we're going to put that across there.
Well, great. Yes, just please go to the UU Mental Health Network's website at uumentalhealth, all one word, .org, and click on training in the menu bar, or you can go directly to uumentalhealth.org/book dash online, or you can scan the QR code that is on the screen.
right? It's kind of covering us up a little bit, but if you take your phone and scan that QR code right now, or just screenshot the screen and then scan that, you can, you'll be able to register for the workshop. Um, are there any scholarships, group rates, or special opportunities for those interested?
Well, because Pathways to Promise charges a fee for each participant, we're not able to provide the training free of charge. We're a nonprofit with a very tiny budget. But our workshop is only $30 per person, which is half the cost charged by other training providers. And if $30 is a hardship for you, don't hesitate to get in touch with us at info@uumentalhealth.org, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate your request. Also, contact us if you would like to schedule a training exclusively for your organization.
Right. Can you give them that email again?
It's info@uumentalhealth.org.
Beautiful. I want to also share with you, as Skyler just said, that if you're interested in scheduling a training, whether you're a homeowners association, whether you and your community and your neighborhood, it would be great for a group of neighbors to do. If you're, yes, a faith person, we would love that. But most importantly, I want to again share with everyone that this is for everyone. And I just can't imagine what our world would be like if we had a whole lot of folks trained in companionship. As I shared earlier, and I believe now is the time, especially in the world that we're living in today, that folks they just don't know what to do. Um, and so we most definitely want to give folks some kind of hope with this training. So, what's the one thing, Skylar, you hope every participant walks away remembering after your training?
Well, if you've ever noticed friends, family, and other people in your community struggling with mental health challenges and wished you could do something to help them, I hope you will consider equipping yourself to make a difference by taking the Become a Companion workshop from us next month. You can lessen their distress by showing them that they are not alone. And also, I want to make sure that you all know about the new emergency number 988. You can call anytime you're having a mental health either crisis or you just need someone to talk to. What they can do is refer you to local resources in your community, and they can even talk to you for a while. So it doesn't have to be a crisis, it doesn't have to be an emergency, but just remember 988 as opposed to 911, which is used when you need police intervention.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. And we want to make sure that everybody understands that 988 is there. And also, I want to make sure that folks understand that we are not talking about mental illness. We are talking about mental wellness, mental health, folks being in a space of mental or emotional wellness. Some folks asked me recently, well, this is for folks who are mentally ill. And I'm like, no, this is a whole different program. So we want to make sure that we're clear with that. Well, Skylar, do you have any final comments that you want to make? I'll make a couple and then we'll let the folks get on down the road.
Well, thank you for this opportunity to talk about this program and also of our organization, the UU Mental Health Network. I hope you'll go to our website and check out the other offerings that we have. Thanks a lot.
I hope that everyone will do that as well. And as well, I hope that you'll go to Pathways to Promise, the number 2 promise.org. There's lots of resources there that you can see, find out even more. Let me say this again. Lots of people charge a lot more than $30 for this workshop. So you're getting a great deal to sign up. I would encourage you to sign up again. You can do that by going to www.uumentalhealth.org and go to their, tell them again, how do they do that? They just go on your website and
click on training in the menu.
There. Click on training in the menu, or at the end here before we go off, I'll pull up the QR code one more time. But we look forward to you having a full class and folks who will be there. Thank you so much, Skyler. You've been a great individual to interview around this companionship. I'm looking forward to hearing about your workshop on October the 11th. And to the rest of you, good night. Have a wonderful evening and be blessed.